My fiancée rolled her eyes and said, "Wow!" So jealous over few emojis. When I showed her the messages between her and her trainer, I told her, not jealous, just taking notes. His wife wasn't taking it well when she saw the screenshots. Now she was begging me for a place to stay. I've always believed in traditional roles. It isn't a popular opinion these days, but it's how I was raised. A man provides, protects, and builds a safe, stable home. A woman nurtures a home and the family inside it. When I met Chloe, that was our foundation. Her family was deeply religious, pillars of the local church, with her father, Pastor Thompson, preaching every Sunday. They care above all about appearances, reputation, and the sanctity of a perfect family. Chloe wanted to be a wife, a mother, a homemaker. I was happy to provide that life. I own a logistics and supply chain consultancy I built from scratch. It buys us comfort. The house I call mine but expected her to make hers. The luxury car, the credit card with a limit she never needed to worry about. In return, I expected loyalty, respect, and partnership. Someone building a future with me, not just living off it. For 2 years, I thought that's what I had. 6 months ago, the first crack appeared, disguised as self-improvement. Chloe hired a personal trainer at a high-end gym. His name was Marco. Perfect teeth, sculpted muscles, and a slick, motivational charm that always felt a little rehearsed. She started spending more time at the gym, coming home late, and buzzing with an energy that had little to do with squats. Marco became part of every conversation. Marco says my form is perfect. Marco thinks I should try this new protein. Marco. I'm not a jealous man, but I am observant. I notice her subtly angling her phone away from me at night. The quick, private smiles while she texted. The moment of truth came on a Saturday afternoon. We were on the couch, planning our honeymoon. I had to resort in Bora Bora up on my laptop, but Chloe's attention was on her phone. She typed a quick message and laughed quietly. "What's so funny?" I asked casually. She jumped, said, "Oh, nothing. Just a meme." A few minutes later, I went to the kitchen for a drink. My iPad, synced to her phone for convenience, sat on the counter. A notification from Instagram lit the screen. A message from Marco. I knew I shouldn't look, and I also knew I had to. The thread was long. Weeks of messages littered with heart and fire emojis. Compliments far too personal for a trainer and client. He called her Angel. She called him my handsome beast. The most recent messages, minutes old, froze me. Thinking about you in that little black dress from the other night. Can't stop. Stop. You're going to get me in trouble. Is the big man boring you with wedding talk again? You have no idea. At least the honeymoon will be nice. Maybe you can come visit me there. Just say the word, Angel. I'll be on the next flight. I stood at the marble counter, cold and steady. It wasn't casual flirting. It was a planned, ongoing emotional affair. She was sitting in my living room, under my roof, using what I provided to plan a rendezvous with another man. I went back to the couch and waited, expression unreadable. 10 minutes later, her phone buzzed. She smiled, reading the message. I leaned over, deliberately calm. "Is that Marco?" The color drained from her face. "What?" "No. Why would you ask that?" she stammered. I picked up the iPad from the coffee table, opened the thread, and turned the screen toward her. "Because of this," I said. Her panic blurred into indignation. The classic guilty defense. Attack. She rolled her eyes and sighed. "You're going through my private messages now? I can't believe this." So jealous over a few stupid emojis. The dismissiveness, the audacity of her gaslighting, confirmed everything. She felt no remorse, only annoyance at being caught. I didn't shout. I didn't make a scene. I watched her, then the screen, then her again, and let a cold, quiet resolve settle over me. "Not jealous, Chloe," I said, voice dangerously calm, "just taking notes." She scoffed. "Whatever. You're being a psycho. I'm going to my parents for dinner." She grabbed her purse and stormed out, slamming the door like she thought she'd punish me. She had no idea she had just left me to build her gallows. The moment the door closed, I went into mission mode. Chloe had assumed she could manage me with a bit of manufactured drama, that I was predictable and simple. She didn't know my mind, the one that designs complex logistical solutions for multi-million-dollar clients, could focus on a singular personal project, her social demolition. My goal wasn't cruelty for its own sake. It was accountability. I intended to let her actions and Marco's deliver consequences to the one place she and her family valued most, their reputation. First, I needed to know my enemy, not Chloe, but Marco, and more importantly, his wife. Marco's social profile was public, a monument of ego. He was married and unashamed about it. His wife, Vanessa, appeared in dozens of photos, a fitness competitor with a granite car physique and an intense stare. Her bio read something like, CEO of Marco's biggest fan club. Don't test me. Her posts were full of couple goals, loyalty, and veiled warnings to other women. Chloe had even called her a possessive crazy psycho a few weeks earlier. Perfect. I created an anonymous Instagram account, blank profile picture and generic name, and crafted my opening message. I'm so sorry to bother you, but I think you deserve to know the truth about what your husband does with his female clients. I hit send and waited. Less than 5 minutes later, Vanessa replied, incredulous and defensive. Who is this? What are you talking about? Me? I'm a member at your gym. I've seen things. I've heard things. He's not respectful of your marriage. Give me a name or I'm blocking you. I baited the hook. Chloe Thompson. Your husband calls her his angel. He's planning to meet her during her honeymoon. The typing dots flickered. She was hooked. Vanessa demanded proof. I didn't dump the whole conversation. That would be too easy and easy to dismiss as doctored, so I sent a single, carefully chosen screenshot. Chloe suggesting Marco visit her on the honeymoon. It was damning enough to demand answers, but still plausibly ambiguous in isolation. Vanessa pushed back. This is nothing. Girls say stupid things. I tightened the trap. Is it a joke when he tells her he can't stop thinking about her in a black dress? Is it a joke when he calls his fiancé the big man who's boring her? I deliberately spun the context, making it look like Marco was the one mocking his own fiancé, making it personal for Vanessa. She wanted more. I sent the next screenshot, the black dress line, then the rest. Week after week of emoji-laced messages, affection that crossed professional lines. I annotated the thread with my own commentary. Careful, incendiary nudges. She lives with him, the big man, her fiancé. She's a pastor's daughter, Pastor Thompson. Can you believe the hypocrisy? I watched the scene indicators pop up. I had given a volatile woman a nuclear bomb and pointed it at the one thing the Thompsons prize most. An hour later, Vanessa's final reply was a statement, not a question. Thank you. I know where she lives. I blocked and deleted the anonymous account. My role in the direct action was done. Now I waited for the shockwave. The demolition was scheduled for Sunday afternoon. The Thompsons hosted a post-church lunch every week, a neighborhood institution attended by the most devout and influential congregation members. It was a perfect stage. Sunday morning, I set about distracting myself. A long run, cleaning the house, anything to keep the anticipation from gnawing at me. Chloe had been staying with her parents since our fight. Texting half-hearted apologies I ignored. She still believed I was just a jealous boyfriend. She had no idea what I'd set in motion. At 1:30 p.m., my phone buzzed with a text from Chloe's cousin. OMG, you're not going to believe what is happening at my aunt's house. I called and heard chaos. Shouting, a woman's raw voice, the crash of something breaking. What's going on? I asked. This crazy woman just showed up, the cousin whispered. She's screaming about Chloe and some guy named Marco. She's reading their texts out loud on the front lawn. Your name is on the guest list for the wedding, and she's reading it to everyone. Pastor Thompson was trying to calm her, pleading that the matter be handled privately. Vanessa wasn't interested. She wanted the world to see. I drove to a vantage point a block away and watched. Neighbors gathered, phones out. Vanessa was a force of nature on the Thompsons' manicured lawn, brandishing printed screenshots like a banner. This is your pastor's daughter, she screamed. This is a woman you all look up to, a homewrecker and a cheat. She's trying to steal my husband. Pastor Thompson's face was pale. Please, let's discuss this privately, he begged. Vanessa roared back. I want to make a scene. I want everyone to know what kind of family you really are, pious and perfect on Sunday, but raising a snake in your house. Chloe was nowhere to be seen. She was likely inside, hiding while her carefully constructed world came apart. The police arrived minutes later, calmed Vanessa, and escorted her away, but not before she delivered a 45-minute tirade filled with profanity, accusations, and the raw, ugly truth of betrayal. Neighbors filmed, whispered, and shared. The Thompson house, with its broken window and shattered reputation, stood silent. The war was over. The fallout had begun. For months later, the consequences cascaded like dominoes. The videos of Vanessa's rampage were all over local social media within hours. Pastor Thompson's sermon, the following Sunday, was delivered to a half-empty congregation. Within a week, the church elders asked him to take a leave of absence. The shame crushed Chloe's parents. Their anger landed squarely on her. According to Cousin, my reluctant, reliable source, the week after the incident was a living nightmare for Chloe. Her father, a man who'd never raised his voice before, told her she'd ruined the family. Her mother, whose identity was woven into church standing, said she couldn't even look at her. They gave her an ultimatum: find somewhere else to live within a week. They cut her off. Chloe, who had never learned to be independent, suddenly had nothing. No job, no savings, no real-world skills. Her bridesmaids made excuses. No one wanted the drama. No one wanted Vanessa knocking on their door. She spiraled, living out her car for days, showering at a local gym, surviving on fast food. Then, one night around 10, my doorbell rang. I checked the security feed. It was her, thin, tired, broken, a ghost of the confident woman I'd known. She stood on the porch and said nothing for a long moment. Finally, with a voice that cracked, she whispered, "Please, can I come in? I have nowhere to go. My parents kicked me out. My friends won't talk to me. I have no money. I'll get a job. I'll pay you back. I'll do anything. Please." I looked at the woman who had rolled her eyes at my pain, who had called me jealous and psycho when I found her betrayal, the woman who'd been willing to burn our future for a cheap thrill. "That sounds like a stressful situation for you, Chloe," I said, my voice flat and emotionless. I let my words hang, the same echo she'd used on me. "You're a grown woman. You need to stand on your own 2 feet. Tell your parents to figure out, or Marco, or any of the friends who thought this was funny. Don't bring your problems to my door. It's not my responsibility.